Hello, good evening, everybody. Once again, we are live from Dubai International. And today is the 5 August 2026. August 5, 2026. August 5 and we are live. That's better. Anyway, everybody welcome. Let me know, send me in the comments your feedback, your questions, because today is August 5 and once again we are live. August 5, 2026, we are live from Dubai International. As always from Dubai Creek. We feel the weather here nice, good. So now is the time for us, for our live. I'm waiting for your comments, I'm waiting for your feedback. I'm waiting for information, for your information. So you can send me your questions, your feedback, or your appreciation or your condemnation, whatever you want, in the comments. As always, otherwise we have to read the news to feed our lives. Normally we are recording 1 hour for our channel and for our viewers. UAE authority takes legal action against 2 for offensive content. Let's again see this news. This news is from UAE. The UAE's media authority has taken legal action against 2 individuals for violating media content standards. It announced on Monday, August 3. Today, the authorities come after the 2 were found promoting offensive content during a live broadcast on social media, which was disrespectful towards the Emirates culture. The content also violated standards of civilization, heritage, and UAE's national identity while offending prevailing values in society, according to the National Media Authority. Along with the legal action, the authority also suspended a publicity permit granted to one of the violators for 3 months. The NMA affirmed it will not tolerate any exploitation of digital platforms to publish content aimed at achieving views or increasing engagement at the expense of the social values, or content that stirs controversy among members of society or undermines its values, principles, and national identity. Legal experts in the UAE have time and again warned residents that a simple, seemingly harmless comment or post can quickly escalate into a police case if it violates these established standards. Penalties for online defamation and cybercrimes in the UAE can be severe, with fines reaching up to 500,000, potential jail time, and deportation for the expats. So these are the rules you must follow here in UAE while you are on social media. Those with a social media presence in the Emirates must ensure that they are following all rules in order to avoid hefty penalties. Here are some things people must be mindful of. Respect for beliefs and religions, honoring cultural heritage, protecting national unity, respecting the ruling system, safeguarding foreign relations, combating rumors and fake news, strict privacy rules, respecting legal and security systems, following state directives, upholding the legal framework. So UAE media laws. There are two major laws that govern media and online content in the UAE. These are the Media Regulations Law and the Combating Rumors and Cybercrime Law. Media Regulation Law is that this law regulates all forms of media work in the state, defining the rights and duties of institutions and individuals. It promotes responsible media freedom, provided it does not conflict with the law and social values. Combating rumors and cybercrime law. This crucial legislation protects society from rumors and cybercrimes. It criminalizes the publication of false news and offenses against others or the state through electronic means, safeguarding state security, stability, and the reputation and privacy of individuals. So these are the two laws. One is media regulation law, the other is combating rumors and cybercrime law. So we must follow the rules and regulations here in UAE. This is very important. Actually, these rules are good for the society, very good for the country, good for the public, so that there will be no any kind of hate speech. There will be no any kind of hatred against other religions. There will be no any kind of hate against other people, other societies, other countries. So this is very, very good for the peaceful living here in the peaceful country. Of course, the UAE is a very, very peaceful country. So we should always respect the UAE laws, rules and regulations. Fire contained. Why this coming Dubai showroom? Why this coming the old news? These are the news yesterday. Let's see the news today. Explosions attack, false claims about Dubai South fire. Let's see this news, latest coming from the Khalij Times, what it says. It says that the fact check, false claims about Dubai South fire debunked after official clarification. There are always fake news, false news. Some people are spreading the nonsense, fake news sometimes. So unverified reports spread across social media overnight and were picked up by established news outlets despite the absence of official confirmation. Claims of explosions and attack and a fire at critical infrastructure in Dubai spread rapidly overnight, hours before authorities confirmed what had actually happened. Fake or old videos showing flames and thick smoke were accompanied by misleading reports placing the incident at a port, a gas storing facility, or linking it to the continuing regional conflict. Some reports claimed that several explosions had occurred within a short period, while others raised the possibility of a missile or drone attack. The Dubai Civil Defense subsequently confirmed that the fire resulted from an incident at a workshop in Dubai South. So always be careful from the fake news. Fake news always making headlines, but it's our duty to verify the fake news. We should not spread any fake news or rumors here in Dubai. Dubai is a beautiful city, UAE is a very beautiful country. So we always respect the rules and regulations, the laws here in Dubai. Let's see the next news here, the misleading claims. The misleading claims prior to the official confirmation were not confined to anonymous social media accounts. They were also repeated by multiple media organizations, including established international outlets, despite the absence of confirmation from the authorities. Here is what the official account establishes how the unsupported narrative developed and why this is not the first time authorities have had to counter misleading claims about Dubai during a period of regional tension. What was claimed overnight? As footage circulated, misleading reports and posts claimed multiple explosions or a series of blasts had occurred. A major fire had broke out near a port or at a gas storage facility. The incident may have involved a missile or drone attack. People had been arrested for filming the fire. The claims relied on social media footage, unnamed sources or reports attributed to other outlets. In some instances, highly specific information was published even though its source and basis could not be independently established. Was the incident linked to the regional conflict? No. Official link has been established. Why did the false account spread so quickly? Footage of an old or unrelated incident appeared online before the location and a cause of the actual fire had been officially established. Social media users added their own descriptions, including claims about explosions and the site of the fire. Those descriptions were repeated by accounts and publications elsewhere, making them appear to have been corroborated by several independent sources. Reports then connected the event to the regional situation, even though no evidence had been presented to establish the link. The result was a mixture of genuine footage, old or misleading video, and unsupported interpretation. Dubai rejected another explosion report on July 16. The latest incident comes less than 3 weeks after the Dubai media office rejected a report claiming that explosion had been heard in the downtown Dubai. On July 16, an international news agency reported that witnesses had heard loud booms in central Dubai. The cause of the alleged sounds was not known. When the report was published, the Dubai media office issued a swift denial, saying the report concerning explosion in the downtown Dubai was false. It urged the public and media organizations to rely only on official sources and avoid spreading rumors of unverified information. The news agency later issued a statement saying it regrets the report and that the story had been retracted the same evening. The matter did not end with the denial. On July 18, the UAE Public Prosecution said it has expanded its investigation into the publication and circulation of the false report, AI-generated videos. Web Media Office has also previously challenged a series of alarming narratives about the Emirate. In March, authorities highlighted misleading online claims of mass evacuation, airport shutdowns, empty supermarket shelves, frozen bank accounts, or a collapsing property market, and investors leaving Dubai. The media office said Dubai continued to operate normally and labeled the narrative as fake or misleading. It also highlighted the use of artificial intelligence and digitally manipulated material to depict events that had not occurred as claimed. A later awareness message said many of the posts spreading claims about explosion, shortage, and deception were being published by accounts outside UAE, sometimes from locations hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. Old footage passed off as new. What should we look for? During an unfolding incident, it's important to separate three things: what somebody saw or heard, what they believe happened, what the responsible authority has confirmed. Footage can establish that smoke or flames were visible. Witness can accurately report hearing a loud noise, neither necessarily establish the cause. Claims should be treated cautiously when they rely on unnamed sources, carry precise but unexplained figures, or identify strategically important locations without official confirmation. Reports linking a local fire to a missile, drone attack, or military operation require confirmation from the relevant authorities. So do not spread the fake news or rumors here in Dubai. Never, never, never. So live from Lebanon, Israeli military begins attacks in South Lebanon after evacuation warning. US lifts sanctions on Iraqi airline linked to IRGC. So there is some good news maybe. The US on Wednesday lifted sanctions targeting Iraq Fly Baghdad airline, a company it had previously designated for alleged links to Iran's IRGC. In an update to its website, the US Treasury lifted sanctions on Fly Baghdad and two of its aircraft, but maintained sanctions against a man previously identified as the company's owner, Bashir Abdul Khadim. Washington had originally designated the airline its aircraft and owner in January 2024, alleging that it provided support to IRGC Quds Force and its proxy groups in Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon. Let's see the next news. Fire contained after Dubai showroom gas cylinder incident. At Sheikh Zayed Road showroom, one person was killed and 5 others were injured in Dubai on Monday, August 3, in a gas cylinder explosion, according to a statement by the Dubai Civil Defense. Dubai Civil Defense. Next news is UAE flight reception. Voice sustainability. Watch hail and heavy rains. With recalls, Range Rover, Defender, Discovery, blah blah blah. Pakistani expert uses their hand. India appoints Vishnu Vardhan Reddy as new Consul General Dubai. Parkonic announced ticketless paid park. Why the old news is coming now? These are all old news. 2 days ago, but they show same and now. So let's see the Gulf news. Also the official newspaper from Dubai, UAE. It says that Iran has agreed new Hormuz route with Oman. Okay, let's see this news. Just latest. Iran-Oman report positive progress on Strait of Hormuz shipping framework as US-Iran talks advance. Diplomatic efforts around the Strait of Hormuz are intensifying on multiple fronts today. Iran and Oman say talks on a shipping framework for the vital waterway are progressing positively, even as Tehran seeks greater control over vessel traffic entering the Gulf. Meanwhile, Qatar says the draft language for a broader US-Iran agreement is circulating among mediators, with US Secretary of State Marco citing progress toward reopening Hormuz as an immediate priority. This comes as the US Navy maintains its blockade on Iranian maritime traffic, having redirected dozens of vessels in recent weeks. Follow our live blog below for the latest updates as the situation develops. Iran says it has agreed new Hormuz route with Oman. Iran and Oman have agreed a route for ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz. And are putting the final touches on arrangements for jointly managing the passage, Iran Foreign Ministry said on Wednesday. The geographical coordinates of the route and message by the two sides have been agreed upon, and if certain third parties do not obstruct the process, the joint statement of the two countries containing the main consideration and points of agreement is also in the final review and drafting stage, spokesman Ismail Bakai said, according to State News Agency. The next news is Israel airstrikes on southern Lebanon kills 1, injures 11. Sad news from Lebanon. Lebanese official media said an Israeli attack on the country's south killed 1 person on Wednesday, as Israel announced it was carrying out strikes in retaliation for what it said was a Hezbollah ceasefire violation. Lebanon state-run national agency said the Israeli strikes targeted the roof of a prayer area of the cemetery in the town of Tibnin, killing the 1 person and wounding 11 others. Israeli army says began striking southern Lebanon. The Israeli military said it began striking targets in southern Lebanon on Wednesday in response to a blatant violation of the ceasefire by Iran-backed Hezbollah, just as Israel and Lebanon held talks in Rome. Israel's foreign minister held key talks with Iranian counterparts. Italian Foreign Minister Antonio said Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi briefed him on ongoing Iran-Oman negotiations to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to commercial shipping. In a post on X, Tajani said they stressed the need for continued dialogue, including with the US, to reach a political solution and ensure freedom of navigation through the vital waterway without tolls or restrictions. The two also discussed Lebanon, with Tajani saying Iran has a key role in helping preserve the ceasefire. Israeli army tells residents to evacuate South Lebanon village. Vessel sinks after drone boat attack off Yemen. Hello! Today, how are you? Where is the Africa people? Yesterday here, Africa. Okay? Okay. No problem. Vessel sinks after drone boat attack off Yemen. A commercial vessel has sunk after being attacked by an uncrewed surface vessel off the coast of Yemen, and UK Maritime Trade Operation said on Tuesday. In the post next, it said that it had received a time-late report of an incident about 9 nautical miles southwest of Al-Mukha, Yemen. According to the report, the vessel's company security officer said the ship was attacked by an uncrewed surface vessel, USV, triggering a fire on board. Uncrewed surface vessel triggering a fire on board. The crew were rescued by local authorities and are safe and well. The vessel has since been reported as sunk. UKMT advised ships transiting the area to exercise caution and report any suspicious activities while authorities investigating the incident. UN alarmed by surge in Iran execution since March. UN rights chief said on Wednesday he was alarmed by the rise in executions and death sentences issued in Iran since March, with capital punishment used to instill the fear. Since March 1926, at least 56 people have been executed on national security-related charges, including 27 individuals in case linked to protests at the start of the year. India's central bank holds rates as it assesses Middle East shock. India's central bank kept interest rates unchanged on Wednesday as it waits to see whether volatile oil prices caused by the Iran war feed wider inflationary pressure. The Reserve Bank of India said the benchmark repurchase rate, the level at which it lends to commercial banks, would remain at 5.25% after a unanimous vote by a 6-member panel. Emerging and frontier market central banks from Indonesia to Sri Lanka have raised rates to curb price rises and boost their currencies since the outbreak of the Middle East crisis in February. Limited and staggered fuel price hike by the Indian government have so far shielded citizens from the worst of the war's economic impact, but there are signs that this may not hold. Yemen's Houthis say attacked Saudi oil tanker in the Red Sea. Yemen's Iran-backed Houthis said on Wednesday that they had attacked a Saudi oil tanker off Yanbu in the Red Sea as the rebels pressed on with their declared maritime blockade of Saudi Arabia. The group successfully targeted the Saudi oil tanker Wafa in the northern Red Sea off the coast of Yanbu with a number of ballistic missiles, their military spokesman Yahya said in a video statement, adding this was the 8th ship they targeted since the start of the blockade. More than 800,000 displaced Lebanese returning home after war. More than 800,000 people displaced by war in Lebanon have begun returning to their hometowns following a stop in violence amid the Israel-Hezbollah war, the UN said. The announcement late on Tuesday came as Lebanon and Israel began a new round of US-sponsored talks in Rome aimed at ending the fighting, which are scheduled to run until Thursday. Cathay Pacific profit soared 71% despite Iran war, driving up fuel costs. Hong Kong carrier Cathay Pacific said Wednesday that the net profit surged 71% in the first half of the year as demand from passengers avoiding the Middle East offset a near doubling of fuel costs caused by the Iran war. Our result was positively impacted by ongoing underlying demand for Cathay Pacific and Cathay Cargo. So Cathay Pacific is Hong Kong carrier. Our result was positively impacted by ongoing underlying demand for Cathay Pacific and Cathay Cargo, improved performance from Hong Kong Express, and stronger contributions from the associates, the chair Guy Bradley said in its earnings reports. Netanyahu says Israel did not agree to US-backed Gaza plan. Israel PM Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel did not agree to a US-backed plan for Gaza, even after receiving assurance that an Israeli pullout would only happen after Hamas disarms. In a video posted to his social media accounts on Tuesday night, Netanyahu said the team of US President Trump believes that they can bring about disarmament of Hamas and the demilitarization of Gaza. We are checking this. They sent us a draft. We did not agree to it. It is not our draft. We sent our comments. Trump wants Iran to open Hormuz or get hit very hard. Trump is always speaking nonsense. US President Trump said a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz could come as soon as Wednesday, but warned Iran it would get hit very hard if negotiations fell through. Transit of the waterway, a key conduit for global oil and gas supplies, has been a sticking point in talks and led to renewed fighting following April ceasefire. Iran has tightened its grip on Hormuz and wants to control the strait and charge tolls, powers it did not exercise before the war began on February 20. Trump said Tuesday a deal with Iran to reopen Hormuz could happen tomorrow or the next day, telling reporters in California that negotiators had a very good day. Iran pushes for a deal with Oman to formalize its dominance over inbound interventions rights over outbound traffic in Hormuz traffic strait. Iran is pushing hard for a bilateral arrangements with Oman that would formalize Iranian dominance over inbound traffic through the Strait of Hormuz and visibility intervention rights over outbound traffic, while sidelining the US and framing it as pure coastal state sovereignty. This has been presented by Iranian sources, including the Daily Iran News posting citing Press TV as negotiations held without US participation that create an intermediate corridor placing both the Iran-controlled northern route and any US-backed southern route near Oman. Iranian statement from Press TV sources emphasized that these are strictly bilateral coastal state talks, that Iran does not shape its priorities around US-Trump timelines of demands. Iran and Oman make positive progress on Strait of Hormuz shipping framework. Bakai. Iran and Oman have made progress in talks on how to manage maritime traffic through the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz, with Tehran saying discussions have been positive at both the technical and political level. Iran Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Bakai was quoted by Iran's Today news site as saying that the talks with Oman were progressing positively as the two sides worked on a framework for future vessel transit through the waterway. Iran seeks control of Hormuz traffic in proposed deal with Oman. Iran is seeking greater role in controlling shipping through the Strait of Hormuz under a temporary arrangement being negotiated with Oman. According to a senior Iranian source involved in the talks cited by Reuters, Iran wants control over ships entering the Gulf through Hormuz, while requiring notifications of vessels leaving the Gulf and retaining the ability to intervene if necessary. The proposed outbound route would run between Iran and Oman, with Oman issuing exit clearance after notifying Iran. The arrangement presents a shift from Iran's earlier demands for control over traffic in both directions, but Tehran is still rejecting an Omani proposal for equal regional management of the waterway. The source said that the move could become the biggest obstacle to restoring normal rail traffic through the strategic waterway. U.S. Navy's Iran blockade, 45 vessels redirected so far. Efforts to resolve the U.S.-Iran conflict in progressive stage. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Tuesday that talks had made progress with reopening Hormuz. Where is this? The arrangements presented a shift from Iran's early demand of blah blah blah. Efforts to resolve U.S.-Iran deal take shape, Qatar says. Draft agreement is circulating. Draft language for a potential agreement between the U.S. and Iran is being circulated among mediators as diplomatic efforts intensify to halt the conflict and reopen the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz, Qatar says. Qatar Foreign Ministry spokesman Majid Al-Ansari said negotiations were entering what he described as very progressive stages, with Qatar, Pakistan and Oman working on exchange proposals between Washington and Tehran. Iran likely behind U.S. water cyber attacks. Trump, Qatar's Amir discuss U.S.-Iran diplomacy. U.S. President Trump and Qatar Amir Sheikh Tamim discuss efforts to ease tension between Washington and Tehran during a phone call on Tuesday. The leaders reviewed diplomatic efforts to narrow differences between the U.S. and Iran and improve the prospects of a lasting negotiated settlement. Trump praised Qatar's role in facilitating dialogue between the two sides, while Sheikh Tamim stressed the importance of continued diplomacy and urged all parties to honor the commitments outlined in the U.S.-Iran MOU. Iran offers China, Russia, Hormuz fee exemptions. Iran is offering Chinese and Russian vessels full exemption or preferential terms from proposed transit fees in the Strait of Hormuz to draw Beijing and Moscow deeper into the confrontation over the waterway. Other countries, particularly those aligned with the U.S., would be required to pay. According to the assessment, the incentives were designed to deepen China and Russia's economic and strategic stake in preserving Iranian control over the strait. Intelligence officials also said Iran's supreme leader Khamenei viewed Hormuz as an Iranian asset rather than an open international shipping lane, a more hardline approach than that of his late father, former supreme leader Khamenei. So this is the Gulf News. Gulf News is a official newspaper from Dubai, UAE. Shame, humiliation. What is this? U.S. State Department official had told AFP that this week's discussion would include expanding the pilot zone process, resolving all outstanding border issues, and working on a comprehensive peace and security agreement. As the delegations met in Rome, Italian Foreign Minister Antonio spoke with his counterpart from Iran, Hezbollah's main patron, and called on Tehran to halt the group's operations. Tajani, in a post shortly before the Israeli strikes, voiced hope that the talks would yield concrete results. Hezbollah leader Naim Qassem said on Tuesday that the direct negotiations would bring nothing but shame, humiliation, and successive concessions for Lebanon. Let's see the next news. Next news is also from the local. From Carter to Trump, why US keeps getting Iran wrong. From Carter to Trump. US-Iran conflict, key updates for UAE residents. Israel resumed strikes in Lebanon amid talk. with talks in Rome. Houthis claim attack on on Saudi tanker in Red Sea. Dubai's new Etihad rail station gets official name. Wow, let's see this news. From local, Dubai's Etihad rail passenger station to be named at Al Yalai station. That's great. The passenger station near Jumeirah Gulf Estate will open on September 30, next month. We are very excited. We are really very happy with this latest development, with this great news and great development here in Dubai, in UAE. Etihad Rail is connecting with Dubai next month. It's already working from Abu Dhabi to Fujairah, but next month its operation will be also linking Dubai. So Dubai's upcoming Etihad Rail passenger station will be called Dubai Al Yalai Station. Dubai Al Yalai Station, according to signage installed at the station site and seen by Gulf News as construction work continues. The station is scheduled to open on September 30, alongside the Al Zaid station in Sharjah, marking the second major phase of the UAE's national passenger rail network following the launch of services between Abu Dhabi and Fujairah. Located near the Jumeirah Gulf Estates community, Dubai Al Yalai station is positioned along Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road, providing direct road access for commuters traveling from across the emirate. One of the station's key features will be its planned connection with the nearby Dubai Metro Jumeirah Gulf Estates station on the Red Line, creating a direct link between the national rail network and Dubai's existing public transport system. Etihad Rail previously confirmed plans to connect the Dubai station with the metro. A dedicated footbridge is currently under construction to allow passengers to move easily between the metro and Etihad Rail platforms. The link is expected to transform the area into a major public transport interchange in southern Dubai. The station's location is also expected to improve connectivity for several residential and business communities, including Green Community, Al Furjan, Dubai Investment Park, and Dubai Production City and Expo City Dubai. For travelers heading to airports, Dubai Al Yalai station will also provide access to Al Maktoum International Airport in Dubai South, which is being developed into the world's largest airport. The airport is approximately 30 minutes away by road from the station. Etihad Rail passenger demand grows. The opening of Dubai Al Yalai station comes as Etihad Rail passenger services continue to see strong demand. The railway operator recently announced that more than 70,000 tickets have been sold for the Abu Dhabi Fujairah route since passenger services began. Travelers are currently booking journeys an average of 12 days in advance, highlighting growing interest in rail travel and advanced planning among passengers. The Abu Dhabi Fujairah route, which began operations earlier this year, was the first phase of passenger services on the UAE's nationwide railway network. UAE rail network expansion continues. Dubai Al Yalai station is part of Etihad Rail's wider 900-kilometer passenger rail network, which will connect 11 cities and regions across the UAE, stretching from Al Silla in the west to Fujairah in the east. Following the September opening of Dubai Al Yalai and Al Zaid stations, additional passenger stations are scheduled to open across the UAE. Stations in Liwa and Madinah Zayed are expected to open on November 30, while the remaining Al Zafra stations are scheduled for December 30. A further station in Sharjah, currently under construction in University City, is planned to open on March 30. University City, okay. The expansion will gradually create a nationwide passenger rail system linking major population centers, communities and transport hubs across the Emirate. So this is local news from Dubai, where the UAE gets rain in August despite 50-degree heat. Indian expats Tactile passport rule in the UAE clarified. Why financial talent will shape UAE wealth management. 4 injured in London's Covent Garden knife attack. What is this? Let's see this news from the London. Woman arrested as 4 people stabbed in central London. A woman was arrested after 4 men were stabbed in Covent Garden, a busy area of central London popular with tourists, in a suspected mental health related incident. A 47-year-old woman was arrested on suspicion of possession of an offensive weapon and assault, London Metropolitan Police said in a statement. So, what next? Next is, what can you pay for with crypto in the UAE? What the hell is this? Montenegro visa-free entry fuels UAE travel boom. CeraVe moisturizer review, everything you need to know. Levoit Everest Air lands in the UAE. UAE records 51.2 degrees centigrade as temperatures peaked Wednesday. Temperatures peaked on Wednesday. Dubai Creek to glow in dirham 80 million waterfront makeover. What is this? Let's see the next news. Dubai Creek. We are just reaching our target of recording 1 hour after 20 more minutes. So Dubai unveils dirham 80 million plan to light up Dubai Creek. Heritage, culture and modern design come together in an 8-kilometer project. What is this? Dubai has started work on the Dubai Creek Lights project, an 80 million dirham initiative that will transform the city's historic waterfront into a vibrant nighttime destination while celebrating its rich heritage. Launched under the directives of Sheikh Hamdan, Crown Prince of Dubai, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Defense and Chairman of the Executive Council of Dubai, the project aims to blend history, culture and modern design through immersive lighting experience. Stretching across the 8 kilometers of the Dubai Creek, the project is part of Dubai's municipality's vital efforts to improve public space, enhance the quality of life and strengthen the city's appeal for both residents and visitors. Bringing Dubai Creek to life after sunset. Dubai Creek has long been at the heart of the Emirates' history, serving as the center of trade and starting point of Dubai's transformation into a global city. The new project will use more than 5,000 lighting units to highlight the creek's waterfronts, historic districts and architectural landmarks. The lighting display will be visible from more than 1,500 feet above ground, creating a striking nighttime skyline. So the project covers 6 key locations: Creek Quay, Creek Promenade and the Gold Souk, Creek entrance at Infinity Bridge. Okay, this Dubai Creek. Al Shindaga Historic District, Bar Dubai Souk and Al Sif Marina. Each area will feature a customized lighting design that reflects its unique character while preserving the creek's historic identity. We are also now at Dubai Creek. So this area will be lighting. Focus on sustainability. Dubai Municipality said the project has been designed with sustainability in mind. The lighting system will minimize its impact on marine life while enhancing the area's appearance after dark. Work will also include upgrades to promenade lighting, waterfront walkways, creek entrance and building facades to improve safety and make the area more welcoming for pedestrians. The project supports the goals of the Dubai 2040 Urban Master Plan and Dubai Quality of Life Strategy 2030, which aim to create more attractive and people-friendly public spaces across the city. Celebrating Dubai's heritage, engineer Marwan Ahmed bin Walita Director General of Dubai Municipality said Dubai Creek has played a defining role in the Emirates' growth for generations. He said the creek served as the city's main gateway for trade and commerce and witnessed many of the milestones that shaped modern Dubai. The new project, he added, will celebrate that legacy by creating a distinctive nighttime experience that connects residents and visitors with the city's history. Badr Al-Wahi, CEO of the Public Facilities Agency at Dubai Municipality, said the project would turn Dubai Creek into a landmark evening destination where architecture, history and culture come together. He said advanced lighting technologies would be carefully adapted to suit the architectural and heritage features of each location, ensuring the area's character is preserved while enhancing its vital appeal. A new chapter for an iconic landmark. For decades, traditional wooden dhows and trading vessels relied on lights along the creek to guide them as they carried goods that helped build Dubai's economy. The Dubai Creek Lights project pays tribute to that history by giving light a new purpose. Instead of guiding ships, it will create memorable experiences for residents and tourists, encourage evening visits and support business along the waterfronts. The project is expected to be completed in the first quarter of 2027. Once finished, it will further strengthen Dubai Creek's position as one of the Emirates' most important historical, cultural and tourism destination, while adding another landmark to Dubai's growing portfolio of world-class public spaces. So this is the local news from Dubai, and we are just 15 minutes away from closing our live. Dubai police warns over fake part-time job scams. Let's see this news. This is very important here in Dubai. Fake part-time job scams. Dubai police warns residents of bank account fraud. Dubai police has warned residents to be wary of fake part-time jobs offers circulating on social media and messaging apps after uncovering a case in which a young man unknowingly allowed the fraudsters to use his bank account to move stolen funds. The warning follows an investigation by the Crime Prevention Department within the General Department of Criminal Investigation into scams that lure job seekers with promises of easy income before exploiting their bank accounts for financial crimes. According to Dubai police, the victim, identified only as responded to an online advertisement offering a remote part-time job with flexible hours and quick earnings. After applying, he received a message informing him that he had been preliminarily accepted. The scammers claimed to represent an overseas financial services company and instructed him to open a bank account in his name or use an existing one for what they describe as administrative purpose. Money was then transferred into his account, with the young man instructed to forward the funds to other accounts in return for a fixed commission. He was told the transfers were part of the processing customer transactions and was promised to ongoing work and a permanent position. Dubai police later traced the transactions to his account and called him in for questioning. During the investigation, he said he had believed he was carrying out legitimate work for a financial services company and was unaware he was acting on behalf of a criminal network. How the scam works. Police said such schemes often begin with advertisements or messages promising quick earnings for simple tasks. Victims may later be asked to transfer money, pay registration or account activation fees, or provide personal and banking information. In some cases, fraudsters use victims' bank accounts to move illegally obtained funds without their knowledge. Authorities warn that these scams are not only aimed at stealing money but also at obtaining personal information and using bank accounts to facilitate financial crimes, potentially exposing account holders to legal consequences. Public urge to verify job offers. Dubai police urge job seekers to verify the legitimacy of employers before accepting part-time work and to deal only with recognized and officially accredited organizations. The force also advised residents never to share personal or banking information with unverified parties and stressed that legitimate employers do not ask candidates to pay fees or transfer money as part of the recruitment process. Anyone who receives a suspicious job offer or believes they have been targeted by fraud is encouraged to report the incident through the Police e-crime platform or by calling 901 for non-emergency assistance. Calling 901. Let's see the next news. Next news is from Gulf News. Overnight Dubai South fire caused by workshop accident. Overnight Dubai South fire caused by workshop accident. The hassle, how Abu Dhabi attracts global superstars. We thought we would die inside Air India's ordeal. Will any film over make $3 billion at the box office? SpaceX rocket stage believed to have slammed into moon. Let's see this news now. New York. A 4-ton piece of a SpaceX rocket was believed to have unintentionally crashed into the moon on Wednesday, a collision that posed no danger to Earth but is expected to leave behind a lunar crater. 10 minutes more to have to close our live after 10 minutes. We are just getting ready. So while there is not yet official confirmation that the Falcon 9 upper stage struck the lunar surface, it had been expected to make impact at approximately 6:35 GMT. NASA said its Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter probe and South Korea's Pathfinder lunar orbiter were planning to take images of the site after impact, but it may take days to receive that information. Scientists and amateur stargazers alike had been looking forward to observing the sunlight plume of rubble and debris created by the smash. It might be possible for folks with a telescope to observe the plume of ejecta created by the impact, said Benjamin Fernando of Los Almaco National Laboratory in New Mexico. It is unclear how bright it will be, which is one of the reasons why we are looking to study this event. What went wrong? Why did the rocket stage hit the moon? The upper stage was never meant to be hit the moon. After launching 2 lunar landers in January 25, the Falcon 9's first stage returned to Earth as planned, while the upper stage remained in space after sending the payload on its way. SpaceX carried out the planned disposal maneuvers. According to the company, it followed the required procedures to place the upper stage on a safe post-mission trajectory. Natural forces gradually altered its orbit. Over time, a combination of solar activity and the gravitational pull of the Earth and Moon changed the rocket stage path. The trajectory eventually intersected with the Moon. Instead of remaining in a stable orbit or drifting harmlessly through space, the spent stage was nudged onto a collision course. The impact was accidental, not deliberate. Unlike NASA's intentional Apollo-era crashes to study the Moon's interior, this was an unintended consequence of orbital dynamics. The rocket stage stuck at high speed. Scientists expected to hit the Moon at about 8,000 kilometers per hour. 8,690 kilometers per hour. It's huge speed, huge. 8,000 kilometers per hour. Creating a fresh crater near the Einstein crater in the Moon's northern hemisphere. There was no risk to Earth. The impact occurred on the Moon and posed no threat of people to people or satellite around Earth. Space junk. So 5 more minutes. This event provides an opportunity to test a pipeline for localizing impacts on the lunar surface for future seismic experiments, investigating the dust and plume dynamics from impact events on the moon and considering hazards from artificial space debris impacts. NASA hopes to soon establish a sustained human presence on the moon, making it critical to better understand space debris in lunar orbit. In the 1970s, the US Space Agency carried out deliberate crash during its Apollo program to collect seismic data. The rocket stage had been just one many pieces of space junk orbiting Earth. There are more than 46,000 pieces of space debris, weighing a total of 17,000 tons currently in orbit. The European Space Agency said 17,000 tons currently in orbit. Too much. Some experts have warned that amassing too much space junk around Earth could lead to a dangerous chain reaction of collisions known as the Kessler syndrome. The human is destroying the Earth by its own hands. Air India names former Ethiopian Airlines chief as CEO. Let's see this news. So, Air India has appointed former Ethiopian Airline Group Chief Executive Tevalde as its new Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, succeeding Campbell Wilson as the Tata Group owned carrier enters the next phase of its turnaround. The appointment was announced on Wednesday following that what the airline described as an extensive evaluation process by its board. Wilson, who joined Air India in 2022 after Tata Group regained control of the former state-owned carrier, had earlier indicated his intention to step down. The airline said the board had been searching for a successor to lead its next stage of growth. Next phase. Tata Sons and Air India chairman said the airline had completed its initial phase of stabilization, integration and fleet planning under Wilson's leadership. Having completed the initial phase of stabilization, integration and fleet commitments under Campbell's guidance, Air India is now entering a critical execution and expansion era. He added that Mariam's experience in building one of the world's most efficient and profitable airline groups made him well placed to lead Air India's next phase of growth. Air India said the board unanimously concluded that Mariam possessed the leadership, operational expertise, and strategic execution capabilities required for the airline's next stage of development. Track record. Mariam led Ethiopian Airlines Group for more than a decade, overseeing a major expansion that transformed the airline into Africa's largest carrier. A major expansion that transformed the airline into Africa's largest carrier. According to Air India, Ethiopian Airlines revenue increased more than fourfold during its tenure, while its fleet nearly tripled in size. The airline said his experience includes expanding international long-haul networks, developing global aviation hubs, strengthening maintenance, repair and overhaul capabilities, and building aviation training infrastructure. Air India said Mariam will work closely with civil aviation authorities and regulators to strengthen India's position as a global aviation hub while maintaining high standards of safety, compliance and operations. How are you, boss? Good. So, this is the news from Air India. 1 more minute to go. Challenges ahead. The leadership transition comes as Air India continues its multi-year transformation following Tata Group's acquisition of the airline in January 2022. Under Wilson's leadership, Air India launched a large-scale fleet renewal program, placed record aircraft orders, integrated operations with other Tata Group airlines, and introduced changes to corporate governance and operational systems. The airline has also faced operational challenges in recent months, including adjustments to some international services because of airspace restrictions linked to regional geopolitical developments. Air India has also been under increased regulatory scrutiny following the crash of Air India Flight 171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner shortly after takeoff from Ahmedabad. In June 2025, the accident claimed 260 lives, including passengers, crew and people on the ground, and remains under investigation. Air India said further details on Gabri Mariam's onboarding and the leadership transition timetable will be announced in due course. So this was the news from Gulf News. There are other news also. Salik CEO says Dubai traffic neared normal in June. Dubai Salik CEO. Montenegro's visa-free entry fuels UAE travel boom. AMF staff gains Mazaya discounts and benefits. Will any film make $3 billion at the box office? The next news are local news, sports news, some entertainment news, some Abu Dhabi business reporter. Okay. Montenegro visa-free. Saudi Arabia launched a new expat transfer service. What is this? Anyway, we have recorded our live for 1 hour. Now it's time to close YouTube live and go for TikTok. See you. Thank you very much. See you next time. See you tomorrow.